I'm on Patreon, and Patreon is a platform where I will upload interesting videos where you can learn astrology. And this is an exclusive Patreon only membership videos where you will get some interesting takes on Vedic astrology, some interesting learning on Vedic astrology, which I can usually will not upload on general YouTube platform. Connect with me on Patreon and we will grow, and I will give you much more deep insights on Vedic astrology, and lot more secrets will be shared there. Aries ascendant and moon sign. If you're born with Aries ascendant, you are going to start the year with Rahu in your first house, Ketu in the seventh house, Saturn about to move from the 10th to 11th house, and the first transit of the year that you are going to, first big transit of the year, will be Saturn transit in the sign of Aquarius on 17th of January. For Aries, I will say this is a mixed bag transit. Couple it with the Jupiterian position in the sign of Pisces. This Jupiter gives you a lot of backup, lot of relief. And combine Jupiter and Saturn, this is the time where you seek abundance to share. This is the time for new opportunities. But also, it is the time to correct your expectations and let go of something. So, New Year should start with few resolutions about what you can quit this year and what you can start new. Because without making your cup empty, you won't be able to fill it with new data, new information, and new success. So that is why Jupiter, which goes under Papakartari, because Lagna will face Rahu, Ekadash 11th house will face Saturn, and then until April 2023, Jupiter, which is in the 12th house, will be under Papakartari. That means you will experience a need to change your source of income, to push for increment, to push for new job, new career, new opportunities, because the expenses can worry you in certain cases. So you will have to be very careful on how you are managing your finances, how you're managing your expenses, how you're spending it on yourself and on your family members. Definitely, this is a time where you should be careful when you are taking any loan, taking the load of a big expense, taking the load of something which is enormous, like a big home loan or a car loan that you don't need. So something that you don't need, you must be careful in that regards. And until April 2023, Jupiter will try to cancel out most of the debts. So it's a very good time to clear off the debts. It's a very good time to manage your finances. It's a very good time to let go of few dreams which are impractical. So here is Saturn talking about practicality. Here is Saturn with the third aspect on your ascendant, third aspect focusing on Rahu and Ketu. Combine it with the energies of other planets, and this talks about a new version of you. So 2023 will bring out a new, a better, a brighter version of you if you are an Aries ascendant, and especially if you are an Aries moon sign. Then definitely the moon gets impacted because of Rahu and Saturn. So thoughts can be slightly negative. You might see darkness, but immediately, if you focus, if you tune into the positive side, Jupiter is there to help you. Jupiter is in the 12th house, and Jupiter will go in the first house and then control your mental energies. I can see that initially you may feel slight change, slight tough changes, maybe some dynamic energies. And that is why I'm repeatedly telling in this video that letting go is so much important. You have to let go of the toxic things in the life. If you feel that you are with toxic people around you, you may have to call to either isolate yourself or change the circumstance by taking the Harinam, chanting Vishnu Sahasranam, taking the name of God. And remember, When Guru is in the 12th house, it is like surrender at the feet of Guru, surrender at the feet of Brihaspati, surrendering yourself at the feet of Parabrahma. And when you do that, Jupiter will give you a lot of positive energies. Yes, expense will be on the rise, and sometimes the expense will be something that you can't avoid, but that is when you will realize your true position in life. So, the first thing Saturn wants to do is make you realize if you are in the right financial track or you are in the wrong financial track. So, the first area of impact definitely will be career and finance. With Rahu and Ketu continuing its position until October, you have to also realize that there will be a Guru Chandal Yoga, Rahu Jupiter conjunction on your ascendant from May till October. Obviously, during this time, planets like Saturn and Jupiter do go retrograde. So, this is the time of Samudra Manthan. So, you see, 2023 brings up new opportunity where you can redo, unlearn, relearn, and you can put yourself into a very high position because of this constant effort and constant churning of the internal ocean. Rahu and Jupiter in the first house from April to October will give you excellent opportunity to realize your true potential. There may be some delay in getting the results of your karma just because of the Saturn's presence in the 11th and therefore Saturn aspecting the 5th and the 8th. But this is also the time when slow and steady wins the race is the right formula for victory for Aries ascendant and moon sign. Also, you have to realize that Saturn will be aspecting 5th and the 8th house. So, people who are involved in speculative business, learning, who are involved into share market, will see that they might feel restrictive growth, but a well calculated decision will give you positive growth. Yes, if you become greedy, because Saturn in 11th house will check whether you are greedy or you're looking for essential, you're fulfilling your duty and then looking out for your wish fulfillment. Because if you become greedy, if you are looking desperately to acquire things at will, then Saturn will slow it down. Saturn will slow it down by bringing health issues. Here you also have to understand that Saturn aspects both the zodiac sign of Mars, Aries by the third, and Saturn also aspects Scorpio by the 10th aspect. So you have to track all the transit of Mars and you have to see when Mars is positive, you will be stronger. When Mars is negative, try to refrain from taking any major decision because Saturn's influence on Mars will slow things down. But this is the time to introspect. This is the year of great success through positive thinking, but also this year will demand some sort of sacrifice. Now, from the perspective of personal life, this year is going to be bright. This year is going to be practical. This year is going to talk about childbirth, childcare. So, you should focus your attention if you are a couple and you have children, or if you're looking to have children, you should focus on them. You should focus on their upbringing. They are your and nations and the humanity's future. And that responsibility is what Saturn wants you to take. That is why parents may feel that they have to sacrifice their happiness, their sleep for their upcoming generation. And this Saturn will also check on world leaders. If you are in a powerful position, if you are an influencer, how you influence the young minds. Because if you do not install maturity and sense of harmony and sense of collectiveness, the bhavana or the feeling of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, then Saturn might decide to take some strict action on you because then you are not following the path of dharma. After April, because of the Rahu and Jupiter conjunction and because of the ever explosion of energy in the first house, suddenly you might see that your potential explodes and in career you are doing great. Suddenly there is a promotion and suddenly there is you were struggling and now suddenly there is a way out. But what happens with this case is because you see a bright light of success, you might completely get involved into that path because of Rahu's influence. You might think that this is the only opportunity that you're going to get, and that is when you may ignore your family, That is when you may ignore the teachings of your family. That is when you may ignore the roots and learning that came from your forefathers and from your lineage. And the moment you do that, Saturn will immediately respond by restricting your career. The very reason you have been focusing on the career way too much. So, workaholic nature might not work. Hard work is there, but Saturn wants you to somehow create a perfect balance between family and the work. Family cannot be ignored in this time. Couples looking for marriage, couples looking for a right partner in this time can definitely hope, because Jupiter will be in the 12th, resolving the disputes in marriage. And when it goes in the first house, it will directly aspect. So, yes, you may have to adjust to the circumstance. You may have to adjust to the circumstance where you might see that you are 50% and the other partner is 50%, but that's what the energies are like. With the seventh lord being Venus and seventh house experiencing Ketu, and with Ketu, Saturn forming the trine is an indication that you might see some breakups, you might see some disputes in relationships, and the only way you can resolve is by handling energies through Jupiterian way, which means the Sattvic way, which means handling things with love, emotion, practicality, trying to explain things with a very practical in a very practical manner, and through knowledge and being grounded. Remember, it is Ketu and Saturn in the karma trine of desire. The only thing that is left is Gemini. So you have to focus on the energies defined by Saturn and Ketu, which is spirituality, which is Vairagya, which is detachment, which is harmony, which is being inclusive, being within yourself. So, if you are looking for a partner, the suggestion will be that first correct yourself. First, go within and see your flaws, accept them, and what can be corrected, correct it. Then look for a partner who not only complements it, but also fits in your life perfectly. It's like a lock and key mechanism. Nobody is perfect in this world, but two imperfect people trying to correct each other's imperfection is what Saturn wants to do. And that is how you will find your right partner. Otherwise, Ketu's detachment, Saturn's practicality, and Jupiterian energy with Rahu can lead you to the path where you might trust somebody blindly, and then there can be some backstabbing, there can be some real problems with people whom you trust. For business, this is the time for expansion. For business is the time for organization, for hierarchy. You can delegate your task to other people. Your identity will expand. Your impressions in society will expand. But then your responsibility will be to bring out something new, to bring out something unique, and offer something different. And if you do that, your business will improve a lot. Investments will come your way. Yes, work might be a bit slow compared to what you have thought before, but overall, you will see that slow and steady will win the race. The only problem is that when you're taking care of a business, when a lot of money is involved, or maybe investors' money is involved, you will have to show a lot of proactiveness, you will have to show a lot of diligence, and you will have to bring in a lot of planning. Anything that is unplanned, anything that is based on assumptions might backfire, especially when Rahu will move in the 12th house on October 2023. Because the last 2 months of 2023 is when Jupiter is on your ascendant, which is good, but Rahu goes in 12th house. That last 2 months is very important for people who want to go to a foreign country, who want to visit for education or for business purpose in a foreign land, change of home, export and import. So, any kind of sudden change expect in the later half of 2023. But overall, this is a good year. This is a year of balance. This is a year where your health will also improve, but you will have to take care of your health. Otherwise, a lot of money will go waste. So before taking any subscription, before taking any health program, before putting your money into any supplement, think the whether you can follow that. Think whether that is actually beneficial for you. You have to think whether that is actually producing any output, because looking at advertisements and buying stuff is not how your health will improve. Rahu in the first, Saturn aspect in the eighth, and a negative Mercury in the transit can render you helpless if you do not take care of your health. Definitely, this is the time when you have to buy health insurance. You have to save your certain amount of money for any emergency. Not that it will come, but just preparedness is must during this year of 2023. People working in niche skills, people working in education sector, people who want certifications, people who want uh, name and fame will see things go their way. But if your health goes bad, none of it will matter. So you have to take care of your health, because Lagna will face Rahu, Lagna will face the third aspect of Shani, and Saturn is going to also see fifth and eighth house, therefore controlling your metabolism. Eat right, eat less, do yoga, walk a lot, sit in Padmasana if possible. And overall, if you take a holistic way of health, you will find yourself in the right position in your life. Help the elderly, and if you are an elderly person, guide the young generation towards new social structure, the positive and the Vedic way of life. And you should help people who are in need, because that is where the abundance will come. Because when Saturn offers you something well in the 11th house, it wants you to justify your gains. And the way you can justify your gain is through the Shamshadan. That means 10% of your income. I say not 10, 1 to 10%, whatever is possible for you, that should go for donation, charity, positive work, feeding somebody, helping animals, feeding stray dogs, whatever you can. You have to do that. Because when you will do, you will prove your existence, you will prove the worth of money that you want, and then your desire will be fulfilled, because Saturn is the kingmaker. And Jupiterian energy coming on ascendant, controlling Rahu, is where you can actually go from darkness to light. Jupiter and Rahu will fight, and obviously the victory will be Jupiter's. In the war between Gyan and Agyan, Gyana will always be victorious. So know as much as you can. People looking for certification, people looking for advanced studies. And if you want to learn something, this is the right time to learn some niche skill and create a new identity for yourself. With Jupiter aspect on 5th house and 9th house from May till the end of 2023, gives you tremendous amount of positive energy, tremendous amount of growth, but it also confuses you because of the presence of Rahu. Initially, all the illusions and all the reality will come together, and you will be like, what is illusion and what is reality? And that can create a brain fog. But slowly the fog will dissipate, and you will see the clear picture. And then, whatever path you choose, whether you choose to be on the side of darkness or you choose to be on the side of light, that will decide your future in 2023. So for Aries, a lot is happening. Jnana is necessary. Karma is necessary. So do a lot of action. Take matters into your hand. Do what is right. Learn and be ready for a bit of sacrifice. And then just pray for Jnana to Ma Mahasaraswati and chant the mantra Om Am Saraswatyay Namah. Om Am Saraswatyay Namah. By chanting the Saraswati mantra, you ask the goddess, you ask the divine mother to bless you with knowledge, and that knowledge will club with Jupiterian forces, and this will help you rise in your life. And if you are facing Jupiter Mahadasha and Rahu Antardasha or vice versa, then from April to October, you will have to be a bit extra careful. So with 2023 coming your way, you should be ready for change. You should be ready to be flexible, and then you will see the path of light, success, and happy life. Wish you a very good, bright, and happy 2023.